The ever studious Dr. Zart is perusing a title. Now, what title is this? This does not look like an official
So,
publication.
oh, hey, what? Oh my gosh. Speak of the devil. Do you know
I've seen
this?
that somewhere before. I've heard really good things about it.
360. Hi, Alberto. You are on the cover here. What? Okay, so this is your book, but I'm doing research because when you brought this to Kaylee when you visited around Norwalk,
Yeah.
it's 360 symbols for rising degrees. It's a beautifully petite zine with lots of art and lots of degree symbols like listed out, and then you have these beautiful tiny miniature like flash art tattoo ideas.
Yes.
But the thing I'm doing is I'm looking at this trying to figure out whether or not the degree symbols track with the bounds, the Egyptian bounds. So I
Yeah.
have my own little sheet here where I've written out the bounds and their degrees, and I'm
Oh,
looking and I'm
nice.
like, okay, cool, well, let's look at Virgo just for fun. A man placing money into a chest. It is a face of sowing, plowing, planting herbs, settling and gathering together riches and food. That's nice. Okay. But then in here we have like the first 7 degrees of Virgo are under the terms, or Mercury is the term ruler of the first 7 degrees of Virgo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have things like a woman adorned waiting for a man, two women standing idle, a man holding a book of accounts in his hand, a merchant. Okay, we got that. A man plowing with oxen, a field worker. An eagle resting, a lazy merchant. A man holding a sword drawn in his right hand, a litigious person who's eager to resist others. A person riding on a lion. Now I'm having that Crowley Thoth deck tarot card in my mind, right? But then the next ones are Venus ruled. So in Virgo, Venus rules 10 degrees. So that we're going to get from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God. So Venus terms of Virgo, a fire blazing, someone who works with fire. Maybe it doesn't work. A well dressed and adorned person. Yes, that works.
Yes.
Death holding a scythe in his hands. A murderer? I don't know. And then we've got a bridled white horse running. Okay, now we have a never ending story moment. A man in red clothes with a black face. Two women gathering roses. That works. An ox standing in a pasture.
Taurus, maybe.
That could be, yeah, like, an ox standing and it's not working. And the next line it says a hardworking person. But like if the ox is just standing, that's very Taurus. I mean, just remember like what we saw from Taurus the last time we talked about Taurus.
Yes.
Two happy women standing together. They're just roommates.
They're very close, very, very,
Two,
very supportive of each
right?
other.
Yeah. Two dogs running together. An attractive castle surrounded by a hedge. Okay, okay, okay. And then the next degrees, Virgo, are going to be ruled by Jupiter. That's 4. A tree full of leaves standing in a field of grass. A forest worker. Okay, that's Jupiterian. I could think of like an oak tree.
Yes.
Okay. A servant sitting on a horse. A retainer. Jupiter.
Travel. I don't know. I mean, I
Maybe.
think this is exactly the next step I wanted to do, and I'm really flattered that you're even looking at that. Is what's the alchemy of mixing the domicile lord, the
Yes.
second lord, and the bound lord, and is this and that, what you can see is I think is a combination of there's some logic, but it's
Right.
inconsistent, and I think there's a
Totally.
telephone game that's going back because this is based on earlier texts
Right,
also.
right, right. So check it out. I just want to keep going just with the whole sign of Virgo. We're going to
Yeah.
do this. Okay. So Jupiter is also a bird following a mole or a mouse, a contrarian. And I can so see that if you think about like hardcore Sag energy, like if you have the arrow in your hand and you're hunting as the Sag, the archer is on its path. It has to have that eagle eye into the distance, like a falcon would watching a mouse or some kind of rodent. And then you also think of the ways in which, like I have a joke about Sagittarius. Like, how do you keep a Sag?
How do you keep us that? I don't know.
You don't. Get it? That's like how you keep them. So because of the contrarian nature, right? If you say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep you, be mine forever, they're like gone. And then if you resist and say, you can't have me, they're like, I'm never leaving you. And you're like, ah, like Sagittarians. Okay. So the last degree for Jupiter is a man standing and holding gold in his right hand, silver in his left, a rich person. That's Jupiter. Next, we have the bounds of Mars for 7, and then the last 2 are Saturn. Mars has a naked woman carrying a goat and a lamb on her shoulders. Hell yeah, that's Mars. A shameless and indecent person. So Mars. A man using an oar to row a boat. A sailor. That's Mars. Thrusting your oar in the water. Mars. A bird tied by the neck to a post. Totally Mars. I trapped you. I got you. A person who will be restrained and forced to work. Mars. A man throwing a stone into a ditch. A litigious person. That's very Mars. 2 men chatting. Okay, that's maybe not so much Mars. 2 women standing idle. An idle person. That could be annoying. For capitalism, that's Mars. Idleness.
Very, yeah. And
Right?
what's the decan?
This is now the mercurial decan as well.
Mercury,
So
Mercury,
we have this like
Mars.
right hand, left hand thing opening it up, and then we have a naked woman carrying 2 different kinds of animals that are usually sacrificial.
Mhm.
A man traveling, a bird tied by its neck to a post, a man throwing a stone. Well, when you throw something, it's with your hand. So Mercury is here, you know. Okay, the last Mars one is many birds, some on the ground, and others flying in the air. Okay, this is the moment of, what is that other series? Did you ever watch Dark?
No.
Oh my God, this is a great Netflix series. It's got 3 seasons, and like there's this moment where when they time travel, all the birds die.
Oh.
So then like you can tell something's happened because like all the birds just start falling out of the sky, and all the characters are just like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, that's
What
interesting.
the bleep? Okay.
We've had some wildfires in California, and several years ago, the whole sky was turning this pink orange color, and you could smell the soot from hundreds of miles away.
Oh
And
my
some old
God.
man said to me, you know, in ancient times, it's an incredibly bad omen because birds were dying because they can't breathe in that kind of soot environment. And he's like,
Yeah.
basically a really bad. So I think that there's some archetypal vibes around birds and falling down and things like that, or being restrained unnaturally. Bird
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
supposed to have anything tied around its neck.
Well, it didn't say they're dead on the ground, but in
Oh,
my mind, when I have birds on the ground and in the air,
yeah.
it's hard not to think that they're dead. And then what this says is a person who will collect a lot of rent. Mars. Everybody loves to hate the landlord. Okay. Then Saturn for the last 2. We have rain or dew falling on the ground. So this is like descent. I think that's very
Yes.
Saturnian, right? A
Yes.
religious person. And then a silent man standing still.
Not bad. Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going with that when I do my research, but I want to see if you've got anything fun for me today.
I sure do. Yeah. And I encourage anybody, if anybody's interested in these images, this booklet is for sale. You can get it at translationoflight.org, and all the cool people are buying it. So there, thank you very much. This is my little humble publishing, my first things publishing. And just one
Support
last thing.
independent publishers.
Yes, this is also just for the nerds. This is based on a text from 1665, which, yes, thank you, Astrological Optics, or the Estrapon Astrologicon, which was based on a book called the Astrolabium Planum from 1488, which was based apparently on Pietro Abano's work and probably medieval Islamic authors. So, anyhow,
And not to spoil it, but someone did pick this book, not your version of it, but they need to know about your version of it. But they picked this book as one of the 3 they'd take on their island
really
within Orb. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So
So, I have a cool little treasure here. This is a
the
200.
ephemeris.
It's an ephemeris. I know you're a sucker for an ephemeris, Jen. Um, this belonged to,
Only non-human ephemerides.
or yes, this doesn't. It's not a human. It's made out of tree products, but um, this belonged to a interesting astrologer called Jack Fertig, who was not only an accomplished astrologer in the Bay Area, but also Sister Boom Boom of. Now I always get this confused. Was it Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence? I can't remember which. I believe he actually ran for mayor of San Francisco. Um, and so this is one of the things that belongs to the SFAS, and it's got interest. It's kind of it really is showing you that analog stuff that are a
Wow.
couple of generations back. It's got an atlas. It's got all the lat long stuff, but it has, geocentric positions. It has heliocentric, which is, I think, a rapidly dying, genre of our field, whatever its merits may or may not be. And so this is the kind of thing that I know you're down with and I'm down with is the ephemera, to make another pun, around astrology and the kind of the lived material culture around
Mhm.
it and how
Yeah.
important it is that it's not the same as a PDF. Um,
Right. Oh
and
yeah, no, I have trouble with using ephemerides that are digital. I really love being able to flip through year by year, month by month.
yeah,
And then you get the sense of duration by how many pages you're holding on to from where you started, and you can kind of feel the life in the pages as it unfolds, because it really is. That's 200 years of people
this
being
is
born, countries rising and falling. I mean,
it's
every single thing in the history of 200 years happened in that book.
very well said. Yeah, it's like they say, every book is just a rearranged version of the dictionary, right? And it's true. It's an edit. Every book is a subset of a dictionary. So think
Yeah.
about that.
Mm.
This is reality. This is like not the code exactly, but this is, and you think about all the astronomers and the people calculating and painstakingly observing and sharing
Well, and that book, depending on when it was published, might not even account for the current delta T calculations, which have changed.
This is 1949. So,
Oh my gosh. So yeah, even the positions in there will be wrong
yep, yep.
because the delta T was measured and corrected after about the year 2000. Like we've only since about 2005 have we really truly had accurate ephemerides.
Really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, there
So,
were so many people going back to recalculate charts from the past, even like, Alan Leo's charts or CEO Carter's charts. And it's like, they got Neptune wrong. The curve they expected for Neptune was just off. And so then you have to whip out your Cornelius and be like, wrong charts work as long as you don't know they're right or wrong,
yeah,
you
I
know?
think it's the holographic idea is that it's all the same thing, and you can dip into anything. You can dip into a tarot cards, you can dip into bird movements or chickens or signage or symbols or numbers, and you're going to get the same message. It's funny that Blaschke had that metaphor, which is basically the way compact discs work. So compact discs have the encoded information in the disc, and that
Yeah.
laser comes in, and it includes the whole pattern is there basically when you
Mm,
when you go into it. So yeah, I mean, and even though it's outdated, Jen, are we going to throw this out?
no.
No,
And especially not Jack's copy, because I wonder if there's little tiny scribbles in there somewhere.
I
You'd have
don't.
to go through each page and see if, like, he's like, this was mom, and this was me, and this was my partner.
Yeah,
My first
marginalia.
ephemeris is completely torn up. Like, I have all kinds of notes everywhere. I've got, like, I was looking into kind of this timing technique of maybe it was like a secondary progression when some kind of thing, and there's like notes going into the future,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just was reading an interesting article about marginalia and the disappearance of marginalia
Oh,
and how
yeah.
with digital stuff we're like again going into this digital dark age because it's some people are a little bit more prim about not marking their books. I'm on the other side. I mark the hell out of my books because I'm using them.
Yeah.
But what are if I wanted to go back and look at many astrologers' work of today and it's just going to be a stack of PDFs and you're like,
Yeah.
what you get it.
Unless they have a remarkable, there's like $400 digital notebook, then you can like mark up the PDFs, but
Right.
I don't have one.
I
And
don't either.
I'm not planning on getting one. I really love just scribbling on. I use pencil when I write in a book because it's more archival.
Hmm.
Pens can sometimes like fade or be funky with the paper.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, and then as far as notebooks go, I love loose leaf
Yeah.
papers. I will just use computer papers, a whole ream of stacks of computer papers.
Oh,
Because
for
then I can shuffle them around and reorganize them and I don't have to be bound to a spine.
oh, yeah, completely. Break
Yeah.
out of the spine prison.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's very cool. Kaylee also has a Jack Fertig special.
No way.
After he passed, SFAS had a miniature sale of some of his books, and I was able to obtain the hardbound edition of Bonatti Liber Astronomiae
No.
by Dykes, and it has Jack's handwriting in it saying that they're his. I got both volumes for $50, which was insane because the book is out of print. It was out of print then, and now it lives at Kaylee for everyone to use.
It was technically never in print, Jen. It was always out of print, and it
I
always
know, right? It just like had a pre-sale, never goes. But yeah, so I have a different copy of the works of Saul, the hardcover of that from Cynthia Smith, and by the graciousness of Jack's spirit, I would say, and or the SFAS book sale. Um, it was mine personally for a long time, but then once you make Kaylee happen, it's got to be in the library for everyone to use, and it's really great to have all of Bonatti together in this leather bound book.
So
There's
jealous.
2 volumes,
I'm jealous, Jen.
That was the one thing I got when they were selling Jack's books. I was like, I gotta keep this one safe. This is really, really cool. And
That's wonderful.
I've used it throughout the years. Like, it totally, when I did my Triplicity Rulers of the Houses class for UAC 2018, I was like up in that Jack's copy of Bonatti. So
Amazing.
you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I need to map the bounds on your work again. So
Please do.
and I'll
Yeah.
let you know how it goes. And when I see you at the lab at Kaylee.
Fantastic. All right.
All
Thanks, Jen.
right.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.